Awakening is more than a concept. It's a profound calling, an invitation from existence itself to go beyond the illusions created by the mind and discover the true essence of being. This is the call for personal and spiritual evolution. Imagine an inner space where all thoughts, emotions, and experiences occur. That space is consciousness, the silent backdrop that observes everything that arises and fades in our minds. Recognizing this consciousness is the first step in understanding what awakening truly means. In this process, we begin to realize that we are more than our thoughts, stories, or identities. The ego, which so often drives our decisions and perceptions, is a fragile construct built on fear, comparison, and the need for control. It makes us believe that we are limited, separate from others, and disconnected from something greater. But when we pause to observe, we see there is something deeper, a state of presence that transcends these narratives. Awakening is not a singular event, a sudden transformation that changes everything in an instant. It is a continuous process, a journey that unfolds gradually, revealing deeper layers of who we are. It's not about reaching a perfect state, but about learning to live with more awareness, authenticity, and freedom. With each step, we leave behind the chains of the ego and connect with a broader dimension of life. The benefits of this process are countless. As we awaken, we begin to see the world more clearly and truthfully. The worries and anxieties that once consumed us lose their grip because we now understand that we are not our thoughts. This creates an inner space where peace, compassion, and creativity can flourish. This change not only transforms our inner lives, but also impacts how we relate to others and the world around us. The journey of awakening is an invitation to explore something beyond what is visible or logical. It is an opportunity to reconnect with your essence and live with greater purpose. However, this is just the introduction. Let's dive deeper to understand how the ego limits us and how suffering can be used as a bridge to freedom. This is only the beginning of a transformation that can redefine everything you understand about yourself and the world. The ego, this identity constructed by the mind, is the source of many barriers we face in our quest for awakening. It is formed by beliefs, fears, desires, and stories we accumulate throughout life, creating a sense of separation between us and the world around us. The ego makes us believe that we are only what we possess, our titles, social roles, or even the opinions others have of us. It thrives on comparison and the constant need for validation, keeping us trapped in an illusion of control. However, the ego is not the villain. It is a natural part of the human experience, but the problem arises when we allow it to take total control. The ego fears change because awakening represents the end of its dominance. It creates resistance, distractions, and even suffering to keep us disconnected from our true essence. But it is precisely through suffering that we often find the opportunity to break free from its limitations. Suffering, though painful, can be a powerful catalyst for awakening. When we face challenges, losses, or frustrations, the constructs of the ego begin to crumble. It is in these moments that we are forced to look beyond the surface and question the beliefs that sustain our pain. Suffering compels us to let go of identifying with what we once believed we were and seek something deeper and more authentic. This process can be uncomfortable because it dissolves the illusions we use as emotional crutches. However, it is in the emptiness left by the fall of these illusions that consciousness has space to emerge. By ceasing to fight against suffering and simply observing it, we realize that it is not permanent. It is like a storm that passes, revealing a clearer and calmer sky behind the clouds. It is in this moment that we begin to glimpse true freedom. Not the absence of challenges, but the ability to face them without losing connection to our essence. Awakening is, in large part, a process of detachment. It does not mean rejecting the ego or the practical aspects of life, but rather learning to observe them clearly without completely identifying with them. When we manage to do this, suffering loses its power to control us. It becomes a teacher, an opportunity to expand our awareness and discover a peace that does not depend on external circumstances. The liberation from the ego does not happen all at once, but with each small choice to remain present, to not react automatically to the mind's provocations. Over time, we begin to see that true happiness does not come from accumulating more or being better than others, but from being at peace with the present moment. The ego diminishes, and consciousness expands, creating space for a fuller and more meaningful life. The next step in this journey is to understand how to apply these transformations in practice, integrating awakened consciousness into all aspects of life. After all, awakening is not just an internal experience, but something that transforms how we live, work, and relate. Transformation is within your reach, and together we will explore how it can manifest in a practical and tangible way. Awakening is not just an internal journey. It is a transformation that impacts every aspect of your life. When you begin to live from consciousness, rather than the illusions created by the ego, everything around you gains a new perspective. Relationships become more authentic because you no longer seek constant approval or validation. Difficulties that once seemed insurmountable are now seen as opportunities for growth, not as threats to your worth. By integrating awakening into daily life, you realize that you don't need to completely rid yourself of the ego, but learn to deal with it. The ego becomes a useful tool rather than a controlling master. When you live from your essence, it becomes possible to make wiser decisions, guided by clarity and purpose. The inner peace that emerges is not fragile because it does not depend on external circumstances or the absence of challenges. Simple practices can help sustain this transformation. Moments of silence, meditation, or even simply paying full attention to your daily actions are ways to cultivate this awakened consciousness. Before reacting automatically to a situation, take a deep breath and observe. That small pause between stimulus and response is where freedom resides. It is there that you decide to act with presence, rather than be carried away by the ego's impulses. Awakening is a gift to yourself and to the world. By changing how you live and perceive life, you inspire those around you to seek this transformation as well. It's a domino effect of consciousness and presence that can positively impact people, places, and even systems around you. Each conscious action you take reverberates beyond what you can imagine. Now that we've reached the end of this reflection, it's time to hear from you. How has this journey resonated with your experience? Leave your comment and share your insights. Like this content if it brought value to your life, and share it with someone who could benefit from this message. Subscribe to continue receiving transformative insights and become part of a community committed to the evolution of consciousness. Your journey is unique, and your participation is essential to inspire others to awaken to their true potential. Thank you for being here, and see you in the next stage of this incredible journey.